So it started out as a money-making venture. And then in 2012, I resigned from KISS. And then I went on. Now, karaoke was very important at that time because then I had no other job.
Oh, you weren't poached?
I resigned.
So by the time you were resigning from KISS, was the karaoke revenue beginning to look up? Was there?
It was definitely better. Definitely better. I think by then, by 2012, I was doing between 12 and 15K. 12 and 15.
A week?
No,
I mean,
a karaoke, a gig, yeah.
And how many gigs were you getting
a
day?
So I know when I was still at KISS, I know I was doing Galileo. I did Galileo, and I was doing both Galileos. I was doing the one in Westlands, and then I'd do the one in town on a different day.
And still Tamasha.
And I held on to Tamasha for quite some time. I did.
Okay, that's some good chums.
It is some good chums. And so...
About 36K a week.
Including my salo. But for me, the reason I quit KISS is because it wasn't making sense to me, the amount of time that I was spending there and the amount of money that I was getting out of it. And then obviously you've got this contrast of a gig that you're doing that's like 4 hours times 3 days, which is 12 hours, and you're making almost slightly above half your salary. So like, what am I doing? But the reason I quit, I resigned from KISS was not because Ati karaoke was booming.
I get it.
It was just, it's not equal. The amount of time is not equal to the value of money that I'm making.
And let me ask you, do you think that the radio played a part in growing your brand, or do you think you were building this karaoke brand on your own as you were doing this?
I think by the time I was being given a job at KISS, I was already who I was.
Okay.
So working at KISS was not so much they were building me and me not building them. We were building each other. It was a symbiotic relationship. You get and I get, you know? So I've never looked at...
And the getting wasn't becoming enough to what I was giving.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. So, and you know, the thing for me is, and I think if I take you back to when I was in Mamangina and I did not like the school and I wanted to leave, I will not fail myself so that you can get me out of there. I will do what I'm expected to do and I'll do it to the best of my ability. So even when I was at KISS, despite being upset at the fact that I'm not getting value for my time, I did not do the job badly.
I get it.
I still put in as much as I could and the best that I could.
Okay.
If they didn't feel like that, well, too bad.
So they didn't counter your offer. I mean,
no.
they didn't try and...
No, there was no counter. It was just, I was just asked, Caroline asked me, are you sure that you want to leave? And I said yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good of them. Okay. So now, when you go now, this karaoke side has to make sense.
It has to make sense. So this is now all that I'm doing at the time. That's earning me money. 2012, March. My last day at KISS was on my birthday. So I was like, yay, gift to myself. So by this time, 2012, I'd already moved house because I moved out in 2010. No, in 2011. I got my car in 2010. Then I moved out in 2011. And so I'm still staying at my car apartment over there.
Did you get your car from the amount of money you were making?
I had taken a loan.
Okay.
I had taken a loan. In fact, that was the other... I didn't think about that. I was actually almost defaulting on some payments because here you are, you've left KISS and then you've got a loan for a car and karaoke ni saa nyingine ni mbili, saa nyingine ni tatu. You still got rent to pay. You know, so that kidogo, that really showed me. It really showed me something. But famo is famo and bro is bro. So bro really came through for me at that time. Like he would help me pay the loan and stuff. So 2012 March. 2012. Tumetoka, bado tunafanya karaokes. Again, I can't specifically tell you where I was working at the time. And then there had been talk with Nation, and more specifically Edward Kwach, who had called me for a sound test, a voice test. And I remember at that time, Angela was Angela still at KISS? How much was?
She was also at Nation at the time, huh?
So at that time, there was that debate between do we pick Angela or do we pick Sanaipei?
Yo.
Yeah, she had left Kiss, I think, by then, because I had the mid-morning show. And so she got the job. She got the Nation job. Too bad. So then she started working, I think at that time they were doing the drive show with Quach. Excuse me. So here we are, karaoke, that's all we're doing. And then I'll tell you an incident that sort of propelled me to move from that my below sea level place where I used to stay in Westlands. Because when you enter with the car like this. So in 2012, sometime before December, hapo katikati, I'd come from, oh yes, I was still at Galileo. I was hosting at Galileo and I was hanging out with my ex, well, my boyfriend then. And then he wanted to stay longer at the club. So I'm like, I'm tired. So I left. I drove home, parked the car, opened the door, got in, and then dropped my stuff. Then I came back to lock the door. So I locked the door, and then the first door on, like after the entrance, is the toilet. So I'm there, based on business, and then my window, one of those opaque windows, had like a part that was broken. Like literally it was like a hole. So I just saw an eye do this. Where?
An eye?
An eye.
Jicho.
Ile kuchunguliwa. Wacha nikwambie. I went straight to the kitchen, got a knife, then went to the sitting room and hid behind my couch. And I called my boyfriend and I said, you best get your behind here now. So then he came over and I was like, me, I'm not swatching here. We are going to your people's home. He's like, no, it's fine. I'll just stay with you. I said, to do what? What will you do? Mimi, hata niko nje nimeingia gari. Me, I'm going to your digs. So anyway, I'm giving you this story so that you can understand. In 2013, when Nation offered me the job, I got my first paycheck and moved house.
Because you're like,
I was like the first instance of like a possibility to get out of here.
I'm out.
Get out. Because also what happened after that, there used to be this Tuesday karaoke, hip hop karaoke at Vineyard.
Yeah.
And there's a day I was leaving there at like, I think I was getting home at like 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. You know, not usual. You're half seeing, half not seeing. Park the car, get inside, dead. So us guys are waking up in that compound. We're waking up to the cops. What do you mean? Why are there cops here? Wait, you didn't hear there was almost a robbery, Jana? I'm like, what? Nobody.
Wow.
What did you come here?
And this is in West T.
This is Westlands. I think all of us who used to live in that complex were just boozists. Nobody had anything. So apparently there'd been some thugs who came in a car and they knew exactly where they were going. They told the askari tunaenda hapa chini kwa hizo cottages kwa msee fulani. So it's late. You know, askaris, he's human.
Yeah.
They know where they're going, akafungua. Where they jumped out of the car, wakamweka chini. So this is the askari narrating to us this story by the way. Akiwekwa chini, these guys were going around with a key, trying to see which car they can open. And then as the guy who was holding the askari down went on patrolling round, askari akaruka gate. Siku hizo hatuna hata electric fence, ujue. See, we're in Westlands. Ew. So then the guy chomoka and he started banging on like the neighbors' gates. So that's how these guys disappeared.
Yeah.
Hakuna mutu hata moja alisikia.
No way.
That's when I said, you don't know me, I'm leaving this place. And so even the apartment that I moved to, which is just like, was on Raptor Road, I used to pay, by the time I was leaving this place, it was 30,000. I checked in when it was 24K, okay? You know those inbuilt beds?
Yeah.
That one. 30,000. By the time I moved to an apartment that was 20K up.
Because of
it was like, the only available place in the place that I wanted to stay. And I said, you know what, tangangana tu. Lakini si nimepata job, nimesign contract. Pesa ni mzuri sana.
Okay, so tell me about signing this job. So now, because you've told me where this story has left with Nation calling you, you're not the one who's gotten the job. It's been given to
Angela.
Yes.
To do the drive. So when they were looking for me, they wanted somebody to replace Angela because Angela was now moving to Breakfast.
Aha.
Yeah, she was moving there with Munene Nyaga. And so went did the thing, we signed contracts and whatever, and
So was it an interview process that you went through?
No.
No, they already knew you.
They already knew. They'd already had me on Kiss, and Edward Kwach was there really vouching for me. So
Yeah.
Another person who is extremely smart, who I was thrown in the deep end with.
Edward Kwach.
At least I had experience from Roy.
But also, I want to say this, because you mentioned this earlier where you said that you've gotten called ni Mungu. I agree completely.
Yes.
However, I don't even want to put this as a but as an end. And I mean, not end, sorry, not end. And you're good at what you do.
Yes.
Because people who are of this caliber, they don't just bahatisha with anybody.
That's true.
And you see, by the time they're only calling you, it's not at the interview process. That's a whole different.
They've made a
ballgame.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can actually confidently say that I had really, really grown when it came to radio. I realized later, after joining Kiss, that it's a conversation. Have a conversation. Act like they used to tell us, act like somebody is in the studio with you. Who are you talking to? They tell you, what's your demographic? You're talking to a 25 to maybe 33-year-old lady who has a steady job. She has her own car. She has her own house. What kind of things would you talk about to that lady? Although I never used to imagine anybody in the studio. I just used to vibe. I can't. That's just, it's multitasking. I have to think about seeing somebody and then, oh no, man, let's just talk. So I think when I eventually understood that it can just be a conversation, then it became easier. And that's how I treated my entertainment news as well. It was not, so Beyonce in 1919, what. I wasn't reading.
Yeah.
I would get a story, I would read it, and then rewrite it in my own words. This is what I used to do when I was at Kenya Medical Training College. To understand a topic very well, I would read through everything, the notes that we've written, and then now rewrite it like it's my book. So it's like I'm rewriting a text.
Hey.
Completely. That's how you understand inside out things. So when it came to like even entertainment news, I was telling the story like, hey, so let me tell you.
I get it.
Beyonce apparently, at Sasa in 98 when she was, I would tell it
I
like,
get it.
me, I was there.
I
You
get
guys don't know. And I think that made it very easy for me to do radio. It became very conversational for me. So even like when I now joined Nation, and more specifically when I did the mid-morning, and I'll get to that. Let me stick here with Kwach, Drive Show. And then Drive Show is a very intense show. It's like breakfast ya jioni. That's what it is. Mid-morning is a very light-hearted kind of show. You guys can talk about anything. But in the evening, you've got guys' attention. They're in the cars. It's traffic.
They are tired.
They're fatigued.
It's about,
You have to really keep it entertaining. So it was a difficult show to do. And then also my brother Edward Kwach sometimes would decide how he's not showing up. Baby, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming. Ha! Coming nothing. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Unajikuta umefanya show. We. Following day he checks in. He's not even remembering stories for Jana. He's like, hey, so how are you? Let's go. Yani. Aki, I used to get so pissed off. But he's my boy. So
What are the main differences between Kiss and Nation? Because even there you did you didn't do a drive show.
I didn't do a drive show.
Yeah, but what in terms of the running of the station, what would you say are the differences? Or the radio demographic, whatever. What are the differences?
For me, I feel like, and not to put anyone down, but I just feel like Kiss 100 understood the assignment. Like they understood who they were and what their identity was as far as music went and as far as topics went and presentation. They understood that this is the niche that we want and this is how we're going to go about getting these people to stick. With Nation, there was a lot of
trial and error.
Yeah, like we don't know where we're at yet because you have the breakfast show sounding like a BBC show. And then you've got mid-morning, Sanaipei and Obina, who come in and do all this relationship stuff and Oga and you what, and would you rather things and games and stuff. And then you've got the drive show, which is not as serious as the breakfast show. It can be lighthearted as well. And then the music was just all over the place. It really was. I remember, and I always keep saying this. I played Sina Makosa, and then I played Chris Brown Loyal. it wasn't making sense. There was just a lot of push and pull.
Yeah, but even I feel like Nation, unataka maji ama unataka chai?
Nani mimi?
Unafanya a lot of
Sina clear throat.
Okay, sir. I feel like, not even I feel like, I know without a fact, Nation changed its identity a lot.
Several times.
Like the station, I think, just...
It was Nation, then Easy FM, then Nation. Yeah, there was a lot of...
So were you there during the changes?
I was. I think when I joined, there was still Nation, and then they switched to Easy FM. And
I liked Easy.
When I joined, that same year, November, the first batch of people were fired. And that included now Edward Kwach, because that's when he went. This is 2013.
Yo.
Is it 2013 or 2014? Anyway, whatever it is, people started being fired. And then this one time, Sheila Mwanyiga went on leave, and she had asked me to sit in for her. I sat in for her, and I sat in for her forever. I think, I don't know, you know, like I told you, I don't get into the nitty-gritty of the business. I just do what I'm told, and if I've been asked to continue with the show, I'll continue with the show. There were a lot of rumors of, the clients are saying that they would want you to continue with the show, whatever it was, because Sheila was very good at her job. She was very, in what can I say? She was very linked to her listeners. She was very encouraging with her listeners. I used to listen to her. And so, then again, you're all employed, eh? So your employer says, you do this. And so we did. And I went on sitting for mid-morning up until 2015. No, at this time, I stopped the karaoke. I think 2013 found me doing Explorer.
Hey, so now may travel. Now ko Explorer.
Now Explorer I used to do, I think it was Mondays. Was it Mondays or Tuesdays? Paka neighbors waka complain. Noise pollution. Tukafutwa kazi. But anyway. So I was at Explorer at the time, and then I do know for a better part of the time that I was at Nation, I had quit karaoke. I stopped.
So that means the money at Nation shouldn't have been that bad?
No, the money was good.
Good?
The money was good.
You were comfortable?
Could always be better. But I was comfortable enough to handle my responsibilities and my bills and still have a little on the side to enjoy life. So Explorer, kidogo tukaachana na hiyo. So I stayed at Nation until 2015. Now please let me give you a backstory here of how tired I was with going into town.
I said, I understand. I said, I'm allergic to town.
Man, town is a hassle. It's a hassle. And sometimes, like now coming from West Team, you just underestimate the traffic like a stupid person.
From museum, you start crying. Let
me tell you, not even using the highway. So using Akina Kile side to Arboretum, upande juu, when they left to toke pale university, and then you take the roundabout, and then now you go into town to try and penya those routes and then parking. You know, we used to leave our cars with those random guys for just parking cars.
For real?
What do? Unaona tu.
Show inaanza.
Saizo umetoka kwako 9. Show inaanza 10. Haujafika, hujapaka gari, unapatiana tu funguo. Boss, niweke vizuri. You go. What can you do? But obviously, again, take the blame. Should have woken up earlier.
Caroline told you.
So I used to choka that trip. I used to choka it so much. Let me tell you, by the time the show is done at 2:10, me hata nilireverse gari. Nimeenda. Kipindi imeisha too sharp. Naambia Sean Cardovillis, you run the news. So
who are some of the people who had Nation at the time that you're there? I know there was a high turnover, but then
because even I remember Jimmy Gatho also came to Nation to do the breakfast.
Guys, I know you have many lives. We've not even touched into your acting.
Imagine, hatujafika hapo.
Okay.
Loud. Hata hatujamaliza karaoke because I went back.
Yeah.
So here is, so Angela I know was doing breakfast, then myself and Obina, and then we had Sean Cardovillis coming to do like the sportish kind of show. And then after that would be Antonio Sol and Shiro Moriuki. In fact, before Shiro and Antonio Sol, there used to be a group of Oh, it was actually Obina, who used to be with another 2 guys in the evening. And then when they reshuffled things, he came to my show, and then Antonio Sol and Shiro Morioki got the night show. So then Angela, stuff happened, and she decided she's done. And then she recommended me for the breakfast show. And I was like, no.
She recommended you for the breakfast show?
Yes. There was no way I was going to handle that. Because, and not so much the waking up, it's just the kind of topics that they would discuss.
Politics?
I'm not interested in that stuff. I was not interested in interviewing politicians or whatever. It's just not me. I am a very reserved, I want to have fun, okay? I want to enjoy what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And that did not appeal to me at all. I
get it.
So yeah,
the dynamics of the show that you chooses completely changes the conversation. Absolutely.
And that's what wasn't kind of working, I think. So 2015.
Let me ask, at this time, have you, it's very weird. I would expected you to have touched TV. Did you ever do anything, partnerships with, because when you talk about Antonio Solo, Shiro, they had conversations. The trend. When you talk about Larry Mado, he came down to.
No, I didn't touch on TV.
Did they offer you?
No.
Oh, somebody was sleeping.
At least I don't think so. I don't know. It's just the kind of show that I would want to do would be very different, and I'll tell you about that. So 2015, I think I touched on karaoke again at Buddha Bar.
Wow.
One of my that was probably my favorite karaoke. I actually used to dress up to go to that karaoke. You know, hizi zingine saa nyingine nafanya tu t-shirt na jeans. I feel nothing. But Buddha Bar was a hang. Like, I was co-hosting with Martin Karaoke, who is now currently on Capital FM. And it was the best night ever. Like, so it was myself and him and DJ Riggs. The music is great. The audience is great. The ambience is great. And then Chili Mango Tequila is great. You know? So we're just like...
And the pay was better?
And the pay was better.
Okay.
We really had a good time there. But that ended in 2015, February.
And how often are you doing? Once a week?
Once a week, every Thursday.
Okay.
And then every Thursday turned into, you know, it just became... So the plan this weekend, we start with Buddha Bar. And then... so here we are, 2015. Karaoke has ended at Buddha Bar. Somebody played with some money somewhere, and then it ended up being shut down. 2015, August. Last week of August. Sana has taken leave. Gone to rest my head, my very busy body. 31st, Monday. Going back to work. I get to Jobo. Everyone has their nails in their mouth. What's going on? Kai, akisana unajua tunafutwa leo.